Millions of Americans dream about retiring at 62. And most people think that decision affects just one thing, their Social Security check. It doesn't. Retiring at 62 changes almost every number in your retirement: your monthly income, your healthcare costs, your taxes, your savings, even the amount your spouse could one day receive. And by the time many people realize that, it's too late to change course. Because the biggest lie about retiring at 62 isn't that you'll get less Social Security, it's that that's the only thing that changes. People think retiring at 62 means getting 5 extra years of freedom. But for many people, it means paying for 5 extra years of retirement. And that's where the math starts to change. Imagine 3 different timelines. In the first, someone retires at 62. In the second, they wait until full retirement age at 67. In the third, they delay until 70. Most people focus on just one number, their Social Security check. But that's only the beginning. Retire at 62, and your monthly benefit could be permanently reduced by as much as 30%. You'll also face a 3-year gap before Medicare begins at 65. Your retirement savings suddenly need to cover 5 extra years of expenses. And inflation gets 5 extra years to quietly raise the cost of everything. Retiring early doesn't just mean getting money sooner. It means your money has to work much harder for much longer. Let's put some actual numbers on this. On the screen, we have 2 people. Both worked the same job. Both paid into Social Security for decades. The only difference is when they decide to claim. One waits until full retirement age at 67 and receives $2,000 a month. The other claims at 62 and receives $1,400. At first glance, that doesn't seem catastrophic. It's only $600 a month, but that difference adds up fast. That's more than $7,000 every year, for the rest of your life. And remember, Social Security isn't designed to last 10 years. For many retirees, these payments continue for 20 or even 30 years. Over a 25-year retirement, that $600 monthly difference adds up to roughly $180,000. And for married couples, there's another piece that often gets overlooked. A larger Social Security benefit doesn't just affect you. In many cases, it also means a larger survivor benefit for the spouse who outlives you. That's why the decision to claim at 62 isn't just about getting your first check sooner. It's about deciding what your income could look like for decades to come. Here's something many Americans don't realize until they're already retired. Social Security can start at 62, Medicare can't. Medicare eligibility doesn't begin until age 65. That leaves a 3-year gap that catches a lot of people by surprise, because if you stop working at 62, your employer health insurance usually stops too. And suddenly you need another way to cover yourself until Medicare kicks in. For some people, that means paying for COBRA. Others buy insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Some turn to private insurance plans, but none of those options are free. And depending on your income, your state, and your health, the cost can be much higher than people expect. In fact, for some retirees, those 3 years between 62 and 65 become the most expensive years of retirement. It's one of the biggest reasons retiring at 62 is about much more than Social Security, because the day you leave work, the bills don't retire with you. Here's another way to think about it. Imagine that today is your last day at work. You walk out of the office at 62 and officially become retired. Sounds great. But at that exact moment, 3 things happen. First, your paycheck stops. Second, your retirement accounts stop growing from new contributions. And third, the countdown begins. From that day forward, your savings need to pay for everything. Every grocery bill, every vacation, every home repair, every unexpected expense. And if you retire at 62 instead of 67, that's not an extra 5 years of freedom. It's an extra 5 years that your money needs to survive. 5 extra birthdays, 5 extra Christmases, 5 extra years of inflation quietly pushing prices higher. Retiring early doesn't just reduce your income, it increases the amount of time your savings have to carry you. And for many people, that's the part of retirement they underestimate the most. Now here's the part most videos leave out. Retiring at 62 is not automatically a mistake. For some people, it may be exactly the right decision. If you've spent decades doing physically demanding work, those extra 5 years on the job may simply not be realistic. If your health isn't what it used to be, retiring earlier could mean getting more time while you're still able to enjoy it. For others, the math looks completely different because they've built substantial savings and don't need to rely as heavily on Social Security. And then there's another factor nobody likes to think about: family history. If your parents and grandparents didn't live into their 80s or 90s, waiting as long as possible to claim may not be the obvious choice. But for many people, the biggest reason is much simpler than spreadsheets and retirement calculators. At some point, they decide that time matters more than money, that they'd rather have more healthy years with their spouse, more afternoons with their grandchildren, or simply more freedom while they can still enjoy it. The mistake isn't retiring at 62. The mistake is assuming that 62 is automatically the right age for everyone. Retiring at 62 isn't wrong, but it's a much bigger decision than most people realize. Let me know in the comments. What's your target retirement age?